everyone, it's Lindsay, and today I have another Bible journaling process for you. I'm working in Psalm 116 verses 1 and 2. You can see here that I had done the page on the other side using some STAIS-on ink and it bled through. So I'm going to cover that up to begin with, and I'm just using some Illustrated Faith white acrylic paint. You can use white gesso or any heavy body white paint to cover this up. And you can see I am basically out of this paint, so I'm gonna have to get some more. So I kind of fight with it here in a minute, but I'm just gonna cover this up with a dry brush, putting a pretty thick layer. So again, I'm working in Psalm 116 verses 1 and 2. It says, I love the Lord because he has heard my voice and my pleas for mercy. Because he inclined his ear to me, therefore I will call on him as long as I live. Now, I've been feeling a little uninspired the last week or so, and just kind of had run out of ideas for you guys. I always want to bring you guys new techniques and exciting processes, and I can't always do that. So I'm just going to do more of this where I turn on the camera, let you watch my process, and it may be a technique I've already done before, but that's okay. I'm just going to do a little bit more of that. And so I knew I wanted to spend some time on my Bible, just wasn't sure where. So I pulled out some of my Illustrated Faith die cut pieces, kind of went through those, trying to get inspiration, found some pieces I want to use, and then I went to Pinterest, and I have a board where I pin like Tumblr style Bible verses, and just went through there, picked a verse that kind of spoke to me, and then used that as my jumping off point for my time today, just reading the Word and working on some Bible journaling. And so it was kind of a mishmash of things and how I got here, and just figured I would do a fairly simple page and use up some of my supplies. Now, when you see this video, there is a sale going on over at Dayspring, and so I will list that coupon code down below. It's for 25% off, so you can get any of the products I used today for 25% off, I believe until the end of the month, so that is great. So be sure to check out the description bar down below. So here I keep all of my paper pieces in a box like this. I just dump them all together, so I can't tell you exactly which collections these are from. It's a few different collections, but I just pulled out some floral pieces, and I really loved this big piece that says, say a little crossed out big prayer. Now I decided to add a little more color to the background, and so I pulled out my other Illustrated Faith acrylic paints. These all come in a set, and the great thing about these colors is they perfectly match with the rest of the products in the Illustrated Faith line. And so I knew I wasn't going to have to special mix any colors or anything like that. They perfectly went well with the colors in the floral die cut pieces that I was using. So I went ahead and squirted out a little bit of that on my Bible mat there. And I'm just going to add some pattern to the background here. I'm using a flat-ended brush and just adding thin layers of paint. The great thing about having applied that white paint down first is nothing's going to bleed through. This paint doesn't bleed through anyways, but no matter what I do on this page now, as long as it's on that acrylic paint, you can't see it on the other side. So no shadowing or anything like that. So I'm just going to go through, try not to really think about it, and add some color. We need to count how many times I pick up that black circle piece, put it on the page, take it off, put it on the page, take it off. I could not decide what I wanted to do with it or what I wanted to add. This is kind of real life how my process goes, just playing with things, thinking about it. You know, this whole time I'm thinking about this verse and this idea of prayer. And just my prayer life right now, I've been very, very heavy in prayer, just constantly, not even just specifically sitting down for prayer time, but driving in my car, walking through the grocery store, sitting here editing a video. I'm just constantly in my head running through things that are on my heart right now and praying. And so I just thought this would be a good time to just sit down and reflect on that and get some paint on the page, have some fun playing. So you can see I use that same paintbrush to add like long stripes of paint, and then also little like lines of paint. So use your brushes different ways and see what kind of texture you can create. I'm now going in with a Faber-Castell brush marker. This is the smaller brush marker, and it's in May Green, I believe. And just adding some little crosses to bring in some of the green from those florals. Again, I'm going to pull out the teensiest little bit of white paint I have left, and I decided to knock back the color a little bit. Yes, I go in with my finger, get a little messy, but I just felt like the paint swatches were kind of competing with the die cuts, and I didn't want that. I wanted the floral die cuts to be kind of center stage, and so I'm going to knock back that color a little bit, and that's what makes it more of a background and not as noticeable. So here we'll go ahead and start kind of piecing things down. Now, if I wasn't filming, I would kind of lay out my cluster, take a picture, and then that way I could remember how I wanted it and then piece it down. But since I film with my phone, I couldn't do that. So you'll see that my cluster of how I lay these flowers down changes throughout this whole video, but that's okay. They all get down there. It's all good. So I'm gonna lay them down thinking that I'll lay them down where I want them first, but they end up not being like this, but that's okay. I think this is from one of their newer die cut collections, these florals. It's a whole bunch of different little pieces, and I've talked about these in the past. The great thing is they have verses on the back side of every one of these die cuts, and so you can kind of get some inspiration that way. To adhere them down, I'm going to be using my Xyron sticker maker. So I'm just going to put all of these pieces into the top of this device, and then as you pull out through the bottom, it's going to apply adhesive to the back side of these die cuts, so it makes them into stickers. You do want to rub down on the top to make sure that any excess adhesive kind of sticks to that clear sheet and doesn't hang off of your die cuts. So I'm just going to rub all around those, and then once you take this clear topper piece off, now you have a strip of stickers. So it's a really quick way to be able to adhere all of these down, and this, I'm using a permanent adhesive, but they do also have a removable adhesive if that's something you'd prefer to use. It gives you an opportunity to kind of move things around, which would have been nice with this video, but that's okay. I had tried to pull them back up and sneak some other things in, and that didn't work. And you can see I'm letting pieces hang off the edge. And then I'll flip this over and just cut off anything that is hanging off the edge of the page. I don't like to cover up the words. I really try hard not to. It's happened. It's not the end of the world, but my goal is to not cover the words. I also have that little hexagon piece that came in those die cuts. And you can see there it has a verse on the back. So you could use that as inspiration. Pull one of those out, go to that verse, read that verse, and then use that piece that way, but I didn't do it in that order this time. Can add that up there. And then I have these puffy stickers. These were sent to me from Hello Jilski, Jillian here on YouTube, and I had a few of them left over, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull that prayer piece off. Did some journaling, and that is it. Super simple. Be sure to check out the description bar down below for that coupon code over at Dayspring for 25% off. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. And until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.